Hello everyone, welcome to the What If Anime YouTube channel. Today, we're diving into an exciting new story that will take your imagination to the next level. Let's get started. The third Hokage's office carried the scent of aged parchment and pipe tobacco, a smell Naruto associated with disappointment. Outside, Konoha shimmered under the summer sun, but within these walls, shadows clung to corners where secrets lingered. What did I do this time, old man? Naruto slouched in the chair, his orange jumpsuit a bright splash against the office's muted tones. His latest prank, repainting the East Village water tower with a caricature of the council, was barely dry before he was dragged in. Hiruzen Sarutobi didn't look up from the document he was signing. Nothing yet. The absence of a lecture sent a jolt through Naruto. He straightened, suddenly alert. The third always lectured. Hiruzen finally met his gaze, and something in his eyes, grief, not anger, made Naruto's breath catch. You turned 13 last week, yes. So. Nobody cared, except Iruka-sensei, and he just got me ramen. Naruto crossed his arms, defensiveness masking old wounds. Hiruzen's weathered hand slid a small brass key across the desk. It gleamed faintly in the afternoon light. This is yours now. Naruto stared, confused. What's it? Open. Something your parents wanted you to have when you came of age. The word parents tilted the room. It was foreign, almost meaningless. Hiruzen had always deflected questions about them, citing village security, promising answers when you're older. Apparently, 13 was old enough. You knew them, Naruto said, accusation sharp. Yes, Hiruzen replied, his eyes heavy with memory. Very well. And you never told me. Naruto's fists clenched, nails biting into his palms. They're enemies. Stop lying. Naruto's shout rattled the windows. Invisible Umbu tensed, but Hiruzen waved them off. Everyone has enemies. You didn't hide their memory to protect me, you did it because it was easier. Hiruzen didn't deny it. Perhaps you're right. The admission deflated Naruto's anger. He'd expected excuses, not this weary honesty. The key opens storage unit 27 at the base of Hokage Mountain, Hiruzen said formally. What's inside is yours alone. I've ordered the Umbu to give you privacy. Take as long as you need. Naruto snatched the key, its metal warm in his hand. He was halfway to the door when Hiruzen spoke again. Naruto, your parents loved you beyond measure. Never doubt that. The words struck like kunai, pinning him. Then the moment passed, and Naruto bolted, afraid his eyes might betray him if he lingered. Storage Unit 27 was unremarkable weathered wood, iron bands, a number etched above the lock. Naruto's hand shook as he inserted the key. Metal scraped, then clicked softly. The hinges groaned after 13 years of neglect. Darkness waited inside. Naruto stepped over the threshold and froze. The space was clean, no dust, a faint scent of cleaning solution. Hiruzen's doing, or Umbu ensuring no traps lingered. A light switch flickered, then bathed the room in fluorescent light. It was the size of his apartment, shelves lined with scrolls, books, weapon cases, and sealed containers. A desk sat in one corner, a faded photograph above it. Naruto approached the photo like a sleepwalker. A red-haired woman with a vibrant smile stood beside a blonde man with spiky hair unmistakably like his own. Her hand rested on her pregnant belly. His parents, and he was there, unborn, with them. Naruto's knees buckled. He collapsed into the desk chair, staring at strangers who shared his blood. Who were they? Why was their identity so dangerous? A sealed envelope on the desk bore his name in elegant brush strokes. With numb fingers, Naruto broke the seal. My darling son. If you're reading this, your father and I are gone. I'm writing as you kick inside me, strong and stubborn. You're due in weeks. I hope with all my heart we're there to watch you grow, but ninja, prepare for the worst. Your father insisted we create this place a sanctuary of knowledge, heritage, truth just in case. I pray you never need it. I pray we're beside you as you learn your clan, your powers, your place in the world. If fate has taken us, this room holds everything we can leave you. The east wall scrolls detail the Uzumaki clan, my people, your people. We were unmatched seal masters, so feared that our village, Uzashio, was destroyed to curb our power. Survivors scattered. I came to Konoha as a child, the last princess of a fallen nation. The North Wall holds your father's legacy techniques, theories, his famous jutsu. His name would make you a target for those harboring grudges from the last war. Lord Third will reveal it when you're strong enough to face those who'd harm the Yellow Flash's son. We've left funds, property deeds, heirlooms. Everything ours is yours. But most importantly, our knowledge. Learn it, master it. Two powerful bloodlines run in you. I feel you moving now, impatient as I ride too slowly. You've grown into that fierce spirit. Know we love you, Naruto, beyond life, beyond death. We'll always be proud. All my love. Your mother, Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto read it 4 times, memorizing every stroke. Tears blurred his vision. He had a name, Kushina Uzumaki, his mother. His father, the Yellow Flash, a title that stirred vague academy lessons he'd ignored, history irrelevant to his Hokage dream. Tucking the letter into his pocket, Naruto stood. The room hummed with possibility, knowledge, power, truth the village had withheld. He approached the east wall first, Uzumaki clan, his clan, with a history and abilities erased out of fear. The first scroll he touched hummed, chakra crackling as it unrolled, revealing pulsing seals and diagrams. Welcome, child of Whirlpool, words formed on the parchment. The knowledge of your ancestors awaits. Naruto's fingertips brushed the ink. Seals flared red, sinking into his skin like tattoos. Knowledge flooded his mind, history, techniques, a symbolic language dwarfing academy lessons. He staggered, gasping, as it settled. A primer, the scroll explained, fading. True Uzashio power requires blood sacrifice and training. When ready, each scroll will yield its secrets. Naruto's heart pounded. This was bigger than pranks, bigger than recognition. This was his identity, his potential. He turned to the north wall, his father's legacy. A large scroll, bound in gold and black, bore a blood lock. Uzumaki knowledge guided him, only his blood would open it. Biting his thumb, he pressed it to the spiral seal. The lock dissolved, light erupting as the parchment unraveled, forming a spectral figure, a man with familiar spiky hair and resolute eyes. "Hello, Naruto," said the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze. "My son." The chakra ghost flickered, not alive but more than memory, preserved by sealing techniques Naruto's new Uzumaki knowledge couldn't yet grasp. "You look like me," Minato's voice echoed distantly, "but with your mother's face and her temperament, I bet." Naruto couldn't speak. The fourth Hokage, the village hero whose monument he'd defaced, was his father. "This is a one-time chakra imprint," Minato continued as Naruto stood frozen. "Triggered by your blood. I can't stay long or answer everything, but I'll tell you what matters. You sealed the 9 tails in me," Naruto choked out, raw and accusatory. "Your own son." Pain crossed Minato's translucent face. "Yes." "Why?" "Because I believed in you," Minato said, unflinching. "No excuses. The fox can't be killed, it reforms. I couldn't ask another parent to sacrifice their child if I wouldn't. Your Uzumaki chakra made you uniquely suited to contain it, and I knew you'd master its power like no one else could." Naruto trembled, rage, grief, pride, betrayal, and understanding crashing through him. "The village treated me like trash," his voice broke. "They hated me, and I was the son of their Hokage. I never wanted your heritage hidden," Minato said, hardening. You should have been a hero, raised knowing who you were. If Hiruzen chose otherwise, he thought he was protecting you. I disagree with his methods. The validation soothed like a bomb. Naruto had always wondered if something was wrong with him, beyond a fox. Now he knew his birthright was stolen by fear and caution. What do I do now? He asked, hating his uncertainty. Minato smiled, echoing the photograph. Claim what's yours. He gestured to the room. Not just possessions though we weren't poor, he chuckled faintly. Your heritage, your power. The Flying Thunder God, my signature jutsu, is in the black scrolls. Uzumaki sealing arts are in the red. Our family home, hidden by genjutsu, stands on the village's eastern edge, protected by blood seals. Minato's form faded. A scroll marked with a spiral and flame holds the location of something precious we hid, tied to a prophecy. Find a toad sage, Jiraiya my teacher, your godfather. He knows everything. His image grew ghostly. I'm sorry for the burden, so sorry. I've watched you from the Pure Land. Your heart is good, Naruto stronger, better than mine. Wait. Naruto lunged, hands passing through the fading figure. There's so much I need to ask. I love you, my son. Your mother loves you. We're always with you, even when you can't see us. Minato's final smile was tender, proud. You'll surpass us both, of that I have no doubt. Then he was gone, leaving Naruto alone with the echo of his words and a room brimming with secrets. For several minutes, Naruto couldn't move. His father, the fourth Hokage, his mother, the last princess of a destroyed village of seal masters, their murderer, the Nine Tails, sealed within him by his father's hand. It was too much. But something shifted in his chest. The weight didn't lighten, but he found the strength to bear it. This was his truth, his heritage, his responsibility. With renewed purpose, he scanned the shelves, spotting the scroll marked with a spiral and flame, as Minato described. Unlike others, it opened without blood, a map with coordinates deep in Konoha's northern forests and a cryptic note, the mask of the Shinigami guards what is most precious. Whatever his parents hid, Naruto wouldn't delay. The sun through the storage unit's window showed early afternoon, enough time to reach the location before nightfall if he hurried. First, the family home Minato mentioned, eastern village edge, concealed by blood seals and genjutsu. Naruto had passed that area countless times, noticing nothing. That was genjutsu's point, wasn't it? He grabbed portable Uzumaki sealing scrolls, stuffing them into his jacket, and, with a final glance at his parents' photograph, locked the unit. The knowledge in his blood would lead him home. Konoha's eastern edge bordered dense forest, houses fading into trees. Naruto moved purposefully, an instinct tugging him forward. His awakened Uzumaki knowledge whispered directions, guiding him past training grounds to a rarely visited area. He stopped at a small clearing, trees, undergrowth, wildflowers, unremarkable. But the air felt charged. Biting his thumb, Naruto let blood well up. Guided by Uzumaki instinct, he formed unfamiliar seals. Reveal, he whispered, pressing his bloody palm to empty air. Reality rippled, genjutsu dissolving to reveal a traditional compound. A stone wall, topped with glowing blue ceiling formulas, enclosed a modest, beautiful house in Fire Country-style, paper doors, wooden veranda. An overgrown garden hinted at careful design. The gate bore the Uzumaki spiral intertwined with the Namikaze crest, a three-pronged kunao encircled by flame. His home. Their home. A blood seal guarded the gate. Naruto pressed his bleeding thumb to it, and the gate opened with a groan. Inside, time had frozen 13 years ago, preserved by seals. In the entryway, men's sandals sat beside smaller women's ones, a blue haori hung next to a white cloak with flames. Naruto wandered dreamlike, touching surfaces, opening drawers. The kitchen held dishes, a teapot, utensils. The living room had cozy furniture, books, photos of his parents at different ages. Then, the nursery sunny yellow, with a hand-carved crib, stuffed animals, tiny clothes folded lovingly. A mobile of toads, hawks, and spirals hung above. A photo showed his pregnant mother beaming, his father kneeling, ear to her belly. They had wanted him, loved him. Naruto sank to his knees, overwhelmed. For 13 years, he'd been alone, reviled. Yet this place existed, proof he was someone's most precious person. Grief hit like a flood, sweeping away his defenses. He wept for the parents he'd never known, the child who had stolen, the lies that shaped him. When the storm passed, he rose, wiping his face. There'd be time to explore this house later, to reclaim its memories. The map called. Whatever his parents hid in the forest couldn't wait. In his father's study, Naruto found a backpack, weapons, soldier pills. He swapped his orange jumpsuit for darker clothes from a closet adult-sized but better for stealth. As the sun dipped, he left, reactivating the concealment seals. No one would know until he chose to reveal it. The coordinates led north, deep into Konoha's forest. Naruto moved stealthily, chakra silencing his steps, another Uzumaki skill awakened. 2 hours brought him to a ravine carved by an ancient riverbed. The map pointed beneath a toad-shaped rock outcropping, eerily like the stone toads at Konoha's gate summons of Jiraiya, the toad sage, his godfather, who'd left him to solitude. Anger flared, then faded under urgent priorities. The outcropping hid a narrow fissure. Naruto squeezed through, entering a small cave. Glowing seals lined the walls. A stone pedestal held a white mask with red markings, its demonic grin radiating malevolence, a direct link to the Shinigami. Why would his parents hide this? What required the death god's protection? Beneath the pedestal, a trapdoor bore a complex blood lock, its intricacy clear to Naruto's Uzumaki knowledge. This demanded a ritual. Kneeling, he unrolled a basic Uzumaki scroll. Symbols rearranged under his blood's influence, forming instructions, 7 blood drops, 7 hand seals, 7 words in an ancient tongue he instinctively knew. The floor rumbled, the trapdoor opened, revealing stone steps into darkness. Naruto sent a shadow clone ahead, his signature jutsu, now meaningful knowing his mother used it too. When it reached the bottom unharmed, he followed. A circular chamber glowed with seals that brightened at his presence. A sphere of red and yellow chakra Uzumaki and Namikaze energies floated at the center, holding 2 scrolls and a golden object. The sphere dissolved at Naruto's touch, recognizing his blood. The scrolls landed in his hands, one in his father's handwriting, the other in his mother's. The object was a key, its shifting teeth adapting to an unknown, mutable lock. Naruto opened his father's scroll, hands trembling. The words shattered his reality. Naruto, my son. What I share was known only to your mother and me, not even the third knows. When the 9 tails attacked Konoha, I didn't seal the entire beast in you. No child, even with Uzumaki blood, could contain its full power without being consumed. I used the Reaper Death Seal to split the fox. The yang half its chakra and power I sealed in you, believing you'd master it. The yin half its consciousness and wisdom I sealed in myself before death. But here's the truth no one knows, I didn't surrender my soul to the Shinigami eternally, as the Reaper Death Seal suggests. Your mother and I found a loophole in the ancient contract, using Uzumaki sealing and my space-time ninjutsu. I anchored part of my soul, and the yin fox within it, to this plane in stasis, neither alive nor fully dead, in a dimensional pocket accessible only by the key you hold. Your mother, with her last strength, did the same. We wait, preserved at death's moment, unable to interact but not gone. The second scroll details a ritual to partially restore us as enhanced spiritual entities to guide you, teach you, and help reunite the Nine Tails halves. This knowledge is dangerous. If enemies learned the fox could be whole, or that we could return in part, they'd seek to control or destroy this power. The choice is yours: leave us in stasis and forge your path, or attempt the ritual to bring us back in limited form. Whatever you decide, we're proud, and everything we did was for love of you and Konoha. Your father, Minato Namikaze, 4th Hokage. Naruto read it thrice, reeling. His parents, not gone. Only half the Nine Tails within him. A ritual to bring them back, partially. His reality reshaped around these truths. With shaking hands, he opened his mother's scroll. Her handwriting detailed a ritual so complex it daunted him despite his Uzumaki knowledge: blood chakra, precise hand signs, the Shinigami mask worn by the summoner, the key inserted into an unspecified lock. This was beyond his current skill, even with his heritage. He needed time, training, help. Carefully re-rolling the scrolls, Naruto tucked them and the key into his backpack. Climbing the steps, his mind raced. The third didn't know no one did. This secret was his, a responsibility beyond imagination when he'd entered the storage unit. Night had fallen when he emerged from the ravine. Stars pierced the sky, the half-moon lighting his path to Konoha. He moved cautiously, aware his absence might have been noticed. At the gates, 3 Umbu materialized, masked and silent. "The Hokage requests your presence," the cat-masked one said flatly. Naruto nodded, not hiding his backpack or darker clothes. Let them wonder. The days of withholding truth were over. Knowledge was power, and for the first time, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze had both. Hiruzen waited in his office, pipe smoke hazing the ceiling. He looked older than that morning, lines etched deeper. "Naruto," he began, voice heavy with deeper, the shadows under his eyes more pronounced. "You found more than scrolls," Hiruzen said as Naruto entered, dismissing the Umbu with a gesture. "I found the truth," Naruto replied, voice steady, his blue eyes his father's eyes unwavering. "About everything." Hiruzen sighed, looking every bit his 70 years. "I expected as much." "Your father was thorough." "Why?" The question carried 13 years of loneliness, confusion, and pain. "To protect me." "From what?" "Knowing I was loved. Having a home. My heritage." Naruto's voice rose. "Or from becoming too powerful. From claiming what's mine." Hiruzen flinched. "Perhaps all of those. The world is more complex than you know, Naruto." "Then explain it," Naruto demanded. "No more lies, no half-truths." For a long moment, Hiruzen studied him, as if seeing him anew, not the troublemaker, the dead last, the vessel, but the son of the 4th Hokage and the red-hot habanero, heir to 2 mighty bloodlines, a boy poised to become extraordinary. "Very well," he set down his pipe. "Start with what you know. I'll fill the gaps as best I can." As night deepened, shadows stretched across the office floor. Each revelation, each confession, reshaped Naruto cell by cell, thought by thought into someone ready to reclaim what was taken, starting tomorrow. Dawn bathed the Hokage monument in amber and gold. Naruto stood on his parents' home's balcony, his home now, watching Konoha awaken. The compound's concealment seals kept it invisible to passers-by, just forest edge to the untrained eye. Inside, Naruto had spent the night poring over scrolls by lamplight, absorbing his birthright. His midnight talk with Hiruzen had been painful. Some answers satisfied, others raised questions, but one truth stood clear: the council, elders, and Hokage had shaped Naruto's life through politics and fear, not his well-being. "We thought it best to keep your heritage secret," Hiruzen had said, exhaustion etched in his face. "Your father's enemies in IWA and Kyumo would have sent assassins." The village was vulnerable after the fox's attack. We couldn't risk it. And my mother's legacy? The Uzumaki techniques? Were those hidden for my protection too? Naruto had asked, voice cold. Hiruzen's silence had spoken volumes. Now, morning light sharpened Naruto's path. He'd graduated the academy months ago, joined Team 7 with Sasuke and Sakura under Kakashi, and completed the Wave mission, facing Zabuza and Haku, an experience that awakened something beyond shinobi training. But everything was different now. He was different. Kakashi's chakra paper test had revealed Naruto's wind affinity, rare in Fire Country. It missed the secondary affinity in his Uzumaki blood, water, the element of his mother's people, Uzashio, the village hidden in whirlpools. Naruto formed hand seals practiced overnight, channeling chakra through newly awakened pathways. Water release, ripple sense. His chakra spread like ripples on a pond, touching everything within 50 meters. He sensed birds in trees, a Jonin squad on a distant path, root systems underground. The jutsu, non-offensive, expanded awareness perfect for a village surrounded by ocean, where enemies could strike from any direction. The technique faded, leaving Naruto winded but thrilled. His mother's scrolls held dozens of water techniques, most beyond his current chakra control but within reach. His father's legacy posed a different challenge. The Flying Thunder God, Minato's signature jutsu, demanded mastery of space-time manipulation, its theory dizzying. Yet, beneath it lay accessible principles, seal creation, modification, application. Naruto's awakened Uzumaki heritage let him sense and interact with seals. Creating them would take practice, but the foundation was in his blood. First, he needed a baseline before revealing his discoveries. The Chunin exams loomed an ideal stage to show growth without exposing too much. He also needed Jiraiya, the Toad Sage, his godfather, who should have raised him but vanished from Konoha for reasons unclear. Naruto checked the sun, nearly time for Team 7's meeting. Kakashi would be late, but Sasuke and Sakura would wait at the bridge. He donned his orange jumpsuit, now childish and impractical but necessary to maintain appearances, ensured the concealment seals were active, and left the compound. Walking through Konoha, Naruto saw with new eyes. Buildings like the Hokage Tower and Umbu headquarters bore disguised ceiling patterns, protection, surveillance, barrier triggers hidden in plain sight, now obvious to his awakened senses. How much of Konoha was built on Uzashio's stolen or borrowed principles? Another question to pursue. At the bridge, Sasuke leaned against the railing with practiced indifference, Sakura alternating between admiring him and checking her appearance. Morning. Naruto called, injecting expected enthusiasm. Sakura frowned. You're late, Naruto. Sensei's bad habits are rubbing off. Sorry, I was practicing a new jutsu. Not entirely a lie. Sasuke's eyes flicked to him, dismissive. Whatever. Naruto swallowed a retort. Yesterday, he'd have challenged Sasuke's attitude, craving acknowledgement. Now, such reactions felt petty. He had bigger concerns. Where's Kakashi-sensei? He asked, leaning against the opposite railing, subtly channeling chakra to sense a surveillance seal under the bridge. Umbu monitoring routine for Team 7, or new after yesterday. Late, as usual, Sakura sighed, tucking pink hair behind her ear. He mentioned survival training today. Perfect. Survival training offered chances to test his abilities discreetly. Naruto fidgeted, maintaining his hyperactive facade, while his mind weighed how much to reveal. A leaf swirl announced Kakashi's arrival, 2 hours late. Sorry, a black cat crossed my path, so I took the long way. Liar. Sakura shouted, outrage practiced. Naruto joined half-heartedly, eyes on Kakashi's visible eye, searching for signs he knew about yesterday. Nothing. As Minato's student, Kakashi surely knew Naruto's parentage, stirring hot anger. Today's exercise is simple, Kakashi said, leading them to training ground 17, a forested area with a river. Capture the flag. 3 flags hidden here. First to bring me 2 wins. Use any means necessary. What's the prize, sensei? Sakura asked, scanning the terrain. Kakashi's eye smiled. The winner picks our next mission from available D or C ranks. Naruto perked up, choosing a mission could lead to Jireya's whereabouts. And, Kakashi added, I'll teach the winner one jutsu of their choice, within reason. Rules? Sasuke asked, shifting into combat readiness. No permanently maiming teammates. Otherwise, treat this as combat conditions. Kakashi pulled out his orange book. You have until sundown. Begin. Sasuke and Sakura vanished blue and red blurs, using stealth techniques honed post-wave mission. Naruto lingered, stretching theatrically. Hey, sensei, what if we find all 3 flags? Kakashi didn't look up. Then ensure your teammates don't take them. Right. Naruto fist pumped, then dashed into the forest, making deliberate noise. Out of sight, he stopped, formed a cross-shaped seal, and whispered, Shadow Clone Jutsu. 20 clones appeared, scattering in a search pattern from his father's tactical scrolls. Naruto crouched, closing his eyes, and formed ripple sense seals. Water chakra spread, mapping disturbances within 50 meters, Sasuke moving fast in the northeast canopy, Sakura's subtle genjutsu stealth in the west underbrush, and 3 smaller chakra signatures, the flags, embedded with markers for sensors. Kakashi hadn't mentioned this, testing their sensing skills alongside combat. Naruto felt admiration for the exercise's layers. His clone network pulsed with data. One spotted a flag atop the tallest tree, another found a trapped clearing with the second flag on a pedestal, a third narrowly escaped Sasuke, who was eliminating clones. Sakura had located the third flag underwater in the river's deepest pool, struggling with ninja wire and bells. Processing this in seconds, Naruto crafted a strategy to show improvement without revealing mastery. He moved to the river, body flickering through trees. 10 months with Kakashi had refined his basics. Now, with dual affinities, even simple techniques felt sharper. At the riverbank, Sakura knelt, manipulating a kunai tied with fishing line to extract the underwater flag, visible against the riverbed. Stones, but the approach was a maze of tripwires. Naruto could have used water manipulation to lift the flag or part the river, but that would reveal too much. Instead, he summoned 3 shadow clones, sending them crashing noisily through the opposite bank's underbrush. Naruto, you idiot. Sakura hissed, spotting the clones. You're giving away my position. The distraction worked. As Sakura split her focus between the underwater flag and the perceived threat, Naruto circled behind her, channeling a subtle thread of chakra into the water just enough to nudge the flag against her fishing line. She felt the contact, pulling it up, eyes wide with triumph as the flag emerged without triggering the bells. Got it, she whispered, clutching the dripping prize. Naruto allowed himself a moment of pride in her skill before slipping away undetected. 1 flag secured, now in Sakura's possession. He headed for the trapped clearing holding the second flag. Halfway there, his senses screamed. He dropped flat as a fireball scorched the air, singeing his hair. Too slow, dead last, Sasuke taunted, landing 10 feet away, hands forming seals for another fire technique. Naruto rolled to his feet, grinning with genuine excitement. A year ago, Sasuke would have crushed him instantly. Now, even without his new abilities, Naruto could hold his own, and with a touch of his awakened heritage, this could be fun. Bring it, jerk. He created 5 shadow clones, charging Sasuke from multiple angles. Sasuke's eyes narrowed, not yet sharing and red but sharp, dispatching the clones with fluid taijutsu. Naruto noticed something his old self would have missed, Sasuke favored his right side, compensating for a lingering shoulder injury from their last mission. Naruto pressed the advantage, using waves of clones to herd Sasuke toward the river, mixing real attacks to keep him off balance. His goal wasn't to win not yet but to steer Sasuke away from the second flag. A clone's memory flashed. Sakura, with the first flag, was heading for the trap clearing. If she claimed the second, she'd win. Time to show progress. Naruto drew a kunai, infusing it with a thin layer of wind chakra, not enough for the cutting edge his father's scrolls described, but enough to extend its reach. When he slashed, Sasuke dodged, expecting a safe distance, only to hiss as the invisible wind nicked his cheek. Blood beaded, and a dangerous glint sparked in Sasuke's eyes. "When did you learn that?" Sasuke demanded, touching the wound. Naruto shrugged, keeping his carefree mask. "Been practicing. I'm not always gonna be dead last, you know." Something shifted in Sasuke's gaze. Reassessment, maybe reluctant respect. No time to dwell. Naruto needed the second flag before Sakura. He summoned more clones, engaging Sasuke, while the real Naruto body flickered toward the clearing. He arrived as Sakura navigated the outer trap's tripwires with explosive tags, concealed pitfalls, proximity seals with unknown triggers. Naruto assessed the setup. He could tank the traps, his Uzumaki vitality and the fox's healing ensuring survival, but that'd be reckless and revealing. Instead, he found Kakashi's less defended path, obvious to sensors but subtle visually, a 3-foot-wide route with detection-based traps. Silently, he slipped through, disabling alarm seals with chakra disruption techniques from his mother's scrolls. Reaching the pedestal as Sakura cleared the outer ring, their eyes met. "Naruto." Her face flashed surprise, suspicion, irritation. "Got lucky," he called, snatching the flag. "Better hurry, Sasuke's right behind me." On cue, a singed Sasuke burst from the trees, Sharingan blazing. "You're not getting away that easily." Sakura's competitive streak shifted to Sasuke. She hurled a smoke bomb, followed by Senbon, forcing him into a trap. The ground erupted, dousing Sasuke in pink paint. Silence followed, broken by Naruto's uncontrollable laughter at Sasuke's flabbergasted, paint-drenched face. Sakura stifled giggles, hand over her mouth. Sasuke's glare promised retribution, but vines shot up, ensnaring all three genin. My, Kakashi's bored voice drifted from a tree branch, book in hand. "Caught in the final trap, all of you." Tisk tisk. Naruto had sensed the earth jutsu but let it catch him to avoid revealing his heightened perception. "Sensei." Sakura protested, struggling. "That's unfair, we found the flags." "Did you?" Kakashi smiled. "Sakura has one, Naruto has one. Where's the third?" Sasuke's paint-covered face twisted with realization. "You have it?" "Correct." Kakashi patted his vest. "The third flag was with me. The real test was whether you'd check." Naruto bit back a groan. The third flag's chakra signature had moved with them, masked by Kakashi's own. He'd dismissed it, a lesson in looking beneath the surface. Classic Kakashi. "So, who wins?" Sakura asked, vines loosening. Kakashi jumped down, releasing the jutsu. "You each found one flag, and none found mine, so it's a draw." "No new jutsu?" Naruto asked, feigning disappointment while mentally selecting a wind-based technique to avoid suspicion, though a water jutsu might draw less attention than Uzumaki sealing arts. "I didn't say that." Kakashi's eye crinkled. "You all showed progress. Sakura's stealth and trap detection have sharpened. Sasuke's fire techniques are more precise." He turned to Naruto. "And that wind-enhanced kunai was unexpected." Sasuke grunted, wiping paint. "He got lucky." "Perhaps," Kakashi shrugged. "Or our unpredictable knucklehead is growing up." "You've earned a new technique," Meet here tomorrow at 8 for training. Translation 10. When Kakashi would actually show. As Team 7 dispersed, Sasuke storming off, Sakura trailing with offers to help Naruto lingered, sensing Kakashi had more to say. Sure enough, alone, Kakashi spoke, eyes on his book. The Hokage told me about yesterday. Naruto tensed. All of it? Enough. Kakashi's voice lost its lazy drawl. Your father was my sensei. Naruto studied the man who should have been family, who should have told him the truth. Did you know my mother too? Yes. Emotion thickened the word. Kusina was extraordinary, like you. The comparison warmed Naruto, but he pushed it aside. Why didn't you tell me? Kakashi closed his book, gaze solemn. Orders. The third's law made speaking of your parentage or the fox punishable by death. But beyond that, he hesitated. I failed them. Failed you. After they died, I wasn't fit to care for anyone, let alone my sensei's son. The raw honesty disarmed Naruto. He'd expected excuses, not vulnerability. Will you report everything I do to the old man now? He asked, arms crossed. No, Kakashi said. I'm going to really teach you, not just basics or teamwork drills. If you're ready to learn, I'll pass on what your father taught me. Naruto blinked, suspicion battling hope. A test, then. Today's exercise gauged how he'd use his new knowledge, whether he'd flaunt it or show restraint, dominate or support his teammates. Tomorrow at 10, he nodded, a silent understanding forming. As he walked away, plans solidified. Train with Kakashi, absorb his teachings, study his parents' scrolls at night, seek Jiraiya, prepare for the Chunin exams to reveal his capabilities gradually. First, he needed to revisit the cave to unravel the ritual in his mother's scroll. The key to bringing his parents back burned in his pocket. The Shinigami mask glared from its pedestal, hollow eyes tracking Naruto in the darkened cave. He'd waited until Konoha quieted, leaving a shadow clone sleeping in his apartment to fool Umbu. The cave felt ancient, wild, its chakra raising goosebumps. Lighting a low lamp, Naruto spread his mother's scroll on the floor. The Shinigami's Bargain, the title read in elegant calligraphy. Complex ceiling arrays spiraled like galaxies, annotated in Kushina's decisive script. Naruto traced them, Uzumaki knowledge humming as he deciphered their purpose, soul extraction, dimensional anchoring, chakra conversion concepts now clear, unfolding with clarity. The ritual demanded blood chakra, a spiritual component, and the Shinigami mask to bridge worlds. The ritual yields partial restoration, Kusina wrote. Not physical rebirth, but enhanced spiritual constructs able to interact under specific conditions. The mask wearer sacrifices life force as a catalyst, not fatal if done correctly, but costly. Naruto's eyes lingered on the warning. A life force sacrifice. His father's letter had mentioned a dimensional pocket where his parents waited, neither alive nor fully dead. The key in Naruto's pocket could unlock it, but the ritual would shape what emerged. He needed more details before attempting something so perilous. His mother's scroll detailed the procedure but left the outcome vague. How partial would their restoration be? Ghosts. Solidified chakra-like shadow clones. Something else? And the yin half of the nine tails in his father's soul reuniting it with the yang half in Naruto could spark unpredictable consequences. Too many unknowns, too many risks. Naruto rolled up the scroll, jaw tight with frustration. He needed guidance from someone versed in advanced sealing, not the third Hokage, whose decisions Naruto now distrusted. He needed Jiraiya, the Toad Sage, his godfather who'd abandoned him. Finding Jiraiya shot to the top of his priorities. But how? Village gossip said the Sannin rarely returned to Konoha, wandering the elemental nations for mysterious research. The answer hit him, obvious in hindsight. If Jiraiya was the Toad Sage, He held the toad summoning contract, and Minato, his student, likely signed it? Among the storage unit's scrolls, Naruto recalled one with a toad image. Focused on his parents' letters then, he'd overlooked it? Now, it was his best lead. Decision made, Naruto extinguished the lamp and left the cave, securing the trapdoor. The summoning scroll would wait until morning. The storage unit was too monitored for a nighttime visit without clearance. As he navigated the forest path to Konoha, another idea surfaced. If Minato signed a toad contract, and summoning could be hereditary, as his mother's scrolls hinted. Naruto stopped in a moonlit clearing. Worth a try. He bit his thumb, drawing blood, and slammed his palm to the ground, channeling chakra through familiar pathways. Summoning jutsu. Chakra pulsed, seals spreading beneath his palm. Nothing happened and smoke erupted, revealing a wriggling tadpole, barely thumb-sized. You've gotta be kidding, Naruto muttered, staring at the tiny amphibian flopping on the grass. It vanished in a puff before he could inspect it, returning to its summoned realm. Not the majestic toad he'd hoped for, but proof of his affinity for the toad contract, activated by blood, not a signature. Hereditary connection confirmed, Naruto continued to Konoha, mind racing. If he refined a jutsu to summon a talking toad, it might lead to Jiraiya. Summoned creatures often tracked their summoners. The village gates loomed, two Chunin guards slouched at their posts. Naruto detoured to a hidden entry he'd found during prankster days, a drainage pipe under the wall, too small for adults but perfect for him. Emerging near the hot springs, deserted at this hour, he brushed off dirt when a sound stopped him, giggling, then pencil scratching. Naruto froze. Someone hid among the bamboo by the women's bathing area, a peeping Tom, though the baths were empty. Curiosity piqued, he crept closer, chakra silencing his steps. Through bamboo gaps, he saw a large figure in a tree, wild white hair in a ponytail, scribbling in a notebook, telescope aimed at a hotel's windows. Recognition hit like a blow. Jiraiya, the toad sage, with his massive scroll and red cheek marks. Anger surged. 13 years of absence, unanswered questions, lonely birthdays, and his godfather was here, spying on women. Without thinking, Naruto formed seals, gathering humid air into a fist-sized water sphere. A burst of wind chakra accelerated it like a bullet, striking Jiraiya between the shoulders, soaking him and ruining his notes. Jiraiya yelped, tumbling from the branch in an ungraceful heap. What the? He spluttered, wiping water. Who dares interrupt the research of the great toad sage? Naruto stepped into the moonlight. Research? That's what you call being a pervert. Jiraiya squinted, recognition dawning. Wait, yellow hair, whisker marks. You're Naruto Uzumaki, he cut in coldly. Or Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, son of the 4th Hokage and Kushina Uzumaki, your student, your godson. The one you abandoned. Jiraiya's buffoonish demeanor vanished. He stood to his full height, eyes sharp. How long have you known? Long enough. Naruto's voice held steady despite the emotions roiling within. Why are you creeping around instead of announcing yourself or finding me? Complicated, Jiraiya said, studying him. I didn't expect you to know about me or your parents for years. Sarutobi-sensei has explaining to do. He's not the only one. Naruto stepped closer, fists clenched. Where were you for 13 years? Why didn't you raise me like my parents wanted? Why did everyone lie? The questions hung in the night air. Jiraiya's expression cracked, revealing regret, then settled into neutrality. Those aren't 5-minute answers, kid, and this isn't the place. Then where? Naruto demanded. When? I'm done with it's complicated and when you're older. I found my parents' scrolls. I know about the Uzumaki clan, my father's techniques, the fox both halves. Jiraiya visibly startled. Both halves? What do you mean? Naruto smiled thinly. Now who's asking questions? You want answers, I want yours first. They locked eyes, stubborn wills clashing. Then Jiraiya laughed, deep and genuine, unlike his earlier giggling. You're Kushina's son, alright, same look when she'd corner someone. Terrifying woman, your mother. The affectionate mention of Kushina softened Naruto's anger. Here was someone who knew her as family, not a legend. Tell me about her, he said, softer than intended. And my father. Everything no one else would. Jiraiya's expression warmed. I will, but not here. He glanced around, all business. Who knows you've uncovered your heritage? The third, Kakashi, no one else. Good. Keep it that way. Jiraiya ran a hand through damp hair. Decision made. Meet me tomorrow at Training Ground 44, Forest of Death, East Entrance, an hour after dawn. Come alone, don't tell anyone. Why the secrecy? Naruto frowned. I'm not officially in Konoha, Jiraiya said. I run a spy network across the elemental nations. Information's my specialty, not whatever you think I was doing. Peeping on women. Naruto raised an eyebrow. Research for my novels. Jiraiya protested, then waved it off. Point is, I report to Sarutobi-sensei, and few know when I'm here. I'd like to keep it that way. Naruto weighed this. Secrecy meant hiding his discoveries from his team, but it bought time to learn and prepare. Fine, he agreed. But tomorrow, I want the truth, all of it. You'll get it, Jiraiya promised. Then we'll discuss training. If you found Minato and Kushina's scrolls, you're holding techniques that could get you killed if misused. Training with the Sannin, his father's teacher, sparked excitement despite Naruto's resentment. One more thing, he said as Jiraiya turned to leave. I almost performed the summoning jutsu. Got a tadpole tonight. Jiraiya froze, turning back, shocked. Without signing the contract? Impossible. Naruto shrugged. Not if your dad was the fourth Hokage. Show me, Jiraiya demanded, casualness gone. Naruto bit his thumb, flashed seals, and slammed his palm down. Summoning jutsu. Stronger chakra burst, thicker smoke clearing to reveal a frog the size of his hand. Not a tadpole, an actual frog. Yo, the amphibian croaked, waving a webbed hand. Who's this kid? Jiraiya. He ain't on the contract. Jiraiya crouched, amazed. Gamekaki, he summoned you without signing. Weird, right? The toad, Gamekaki, hopped onto Naruto's shoulder. His chakra tastes like Minato's, but spicier. Fox's influence, Jiraiya murmured, standing. Change of plans. We're not waiting for tomorrow. The toads need to know now. Without warning, he grabbed Naruto's wrist, his other palm hitting the ground. Reverse summoning jutsu. Chakra erupted, dwarfing Naruto's attempt. The world dissolved in smoke and pressure, his body yanked through a keyhole. Vision blackened, ears popped, stomach lurched. Then solid ground, humid air, unfamiliar scents. Smoke cleared, revealing a surreal landscape, towering plants, massive leaves blocking an amber sky, glowing mushrooms, and in the distance, mountain-sized toads shifting across the horizon. Welcome to Mount Mayaboku, Jiraiya announced, satisfaction in his voice. The Toad Clan's hidden homeland, and now, apparently, your second summoning contract, activated by blood, not signature. Naruto gaped, grievances forgotten in the face of wonder. Why bring me here? Jiraiya's expression turned grave. What you said about the Nine Tails Two Halves changes everything. Mount Mayaboku houses the great Toad Sage, the oldest, most powerful Toad, a prophet who foretold a student of mine would save or destroy the world. Naruto's breath caught. And you think that's... I thought it was your father, Jiraiya admitted. Now, I'm not sure. The great sage needs to meet you, and you need to tell us exactly what you found in those scrolls. Particularly about the fox's divided chakra. Gamekaki, still on Naruto's shoulder, nodded solemnly. Heavy stuff, kid. The Biju aren't just weapons, they're part of something bigger. Before Naruto could probe the cryptic remark, a thunderous croak echoed, vibrating his bones. That's our summons, Jiraiya said, heading toward a distant structure visible among giant plant stems. The Toad Council wants to meet you now. They sprinted through the alien terrain, leaping across lily pads on oily water, ducking under the legs of house-sized toads. The air thrummed with ancient power, metallic on Naruto's tongue. The council chamber loomed as they cleared a rigid amphitheater carved into living stone, its moss-covered walls spelling prophecies in a language Naruto instinctively understood. 3 enormous toads sat at the center, Fukazaku, russet red, wielding a Kusarigama, Shima, purple-skinned with ornate markings, and the great toad sage, so ancient his translucent skin sagged under millennia's weight. Great elder, Jiraiya knelt, reverence unlike him, I brought the son of Minato Namikaze. The sage's bulbous eyes locked onto Naruto. Without warning, his consciousness was yanked into a vortex of visions, a crimson fox split in two, its halves yearning to reunite, a spiral mask with a gleaming eye, 9 shadows converging on a monstrous statue, chakras streaming like fiery rivers, and himself, older, atop the Hokage monument, now with 6 additional faces carved into it. Reality snapped back. Naruto gasped, staggering as his mind returned. Interesting, the great sage rumbled, voice like rolling stones. Very interesting. The child of prophecy stands before us, Jiraiya, as I foretold. But the path has fractured, possibilities multiplying where once there was one. Jiraiya's head jerked up. He's the confluence of fate. The sage nodded. The nexus where futures branch. But something has changed, knowledge gained out of sequence. My parents' scrolls, Naruto blurted, finding his voice. The sealed halves of the 9 tails. The air trembled. Tell us everything, Uzumaki Namikaze, the sage commanded. Omit nothing. Naruto recounted the storage unit, his father's letter, the family compound, the cave with the Shinigami mask, his mother's ritual for the dimensional pocket holding their souls and the fox's yin half, and the key to unlock it. The toads shifted, their murmurs charging the air like a storm. This complicates matters, Fukazaku said, voice like splitting timber. Fukazaku, Shima, the sage addressed the elders, prepare the sage oil. The boy must accelerate his training. He's too young. Shima protested, her warty face creasing. Natural energy could tear him apart. We have no choice, the sage said, eyes on Naruto. Events converge faster than foreseen. The eye of the moon approaches. Jiraiya stepped forward, tense. What's changed? Everything and nothing, the sage replied. The prophecy holds, Jiraiya's student will save or destroy the world. But now we see the mechanism the 9 tails made whole, as savior or harbinger. Naruto's heart pounded. If I perform the ritual, reunite the fox's halves. You could unlock unimaginable power, the sage finished, or unleash incomprehensible destruction. The difference lies in your heart. And my parents. Naruto pressed, desperation in his voice. The ritual would bring them back, at least partially. Is that true? The sage closed his eyes, peering across dimensions. Yes and no. Their souls are tethered, preserved at death's moment. The ritual would create constructs not alive as you know it, not mere memories, but something between. Be warned, what returns may not be exactly what was lost. A terrible hope gripped Naruto. His parents, not fully restored but present, able to guide him, fill the void of 13 lonely years. What should I do? He asked, hating his uncertainty. "Dad," the sage rumbled, "I cannot answer. The choice is yours alone." He gestured to Jiraiya. "But you need not decide uninformed." Jiraiya's hand rested on Naruto's shoulder. "I'll teach you everything your father knew about sealing, everything your mother passed down about Uzumaki arts. You'll understand what you're facing before deciding." "I'll help too," Gamekaki piped up. "Pa says I'm your personal summon. Might as well start now." "How long will this take?" Naruto asked, calculating days until the Chunin exams. Fukazaku hopped forward, his small frame radiating power. "Time flows differently here. A week on Mount Myaboku might be 3 days in your world. Then we stay," Jiraiya decided, looking to Naruto. "Intensive training, sealing arts, chakra control, and, if you're ready, sage techniques." The offer was too valuable to refuse. Naruto nodded, then paused. "What about my team? Kakashi-sensei expects me tomorrow." "Leave that to me," Jiraiya grinned mischievously. "I'll send a toad messenger with a creative excuse. I've dodged responsibilities for 50 years. I'm an expert." Despite everything, Naruto smiled. The Chunin was irresponsible, infuriating, and absent for 13 years, but something likable, faintly familiar, shone through. "Fine," he agreed. "But when we return to Konoha, you're buying me ramen." 13 years worth. Jiraiya blanched. That'd bankrupt a Chunin. "Should have thought of that before leaving me an orphan," Naruto shot back, less venom in his tone than expected. Anger lingered, but it had morphed into a resolve to extract value from this belated bond, to learn all Jiraiya could teach. The sage's eyes twinkled with amusement. "It is decided. Jiraiya will instruct you in sealing. Fukazaku and Shima will prepare you for sage training. And I," he leaned closer, "will share the secrets of the Biju, what they are, why they were created." A gong echoed, signaling the council's end. Naruto's true education was beginning. Sweat stung Naruto's eyes as he scrawled the final seal character, brush strokes precise despite trembling hands. 7 days on Mount Myaboku had reshaped him, not just in knowledge but in awareness. He sensed natural energy flowing around him, understood its balance with his chakra, and why it mattered. "Time." Jiraiya called, stopwatch in hand. 17 seconds. "Not bad, kid. Your father did it in 12, but he'd practiced for years." Naruto surveyed the paralysis seal on the stone floor, perfect if not yet swift. "Again," he demanded, grabbing fresh sealing paper. "Later," Jiraiya said, closing his notebook. "Time for your history lesson with the great sage." Naruto wanted to argue he was mastering third-tier containment seals, but learning about the Biju was unmissable. He cleaned his brush and followed Jiraiya through Myaboku's winding paths to the sacred oil pool where the sage spent afternoons. "How's chakra control?" Jiraiya asked casually. "Better," Naruto said. "I can hold a perfect raise non for almost a minute now." A feat impossible a week ago, before Jiraiya explained his chakra system. The Nine Tails gave Naruto reserves surpassing most Jonin, but its presence disrupted control, forcing extra energy for basic jutsu. He hadn't lacked talent, just understanding of the Biju's impact. "And water techniques?" Jiraiya prodded. 5 mastered, 3 close," Naruto said, pride in his voice. His dual affinities, wind from his father, water from his Uzumaki heritage, proved potent, with the toad's water-based techniques aiding his progress. They reached the oil pool, a gleaming, iridescent spring under Myaboku's amber dusk. The great sage floated at its center, eyes closed in meditation. As they approached, his eyelids opened. "Naruto, come closer. Today, we discuss the origin of the Nine Tails and all Biju." Naruto sat at the pool's edge, natural energy mist caressing his skin. He'd grown accustomed to it, though his first touch of sage oil had left him convulsing with uncontainable power. The Biju were not always separate, the sage began. Once, they were one, the 10 tails, a creature of pure chakra, progenitor of all energy. Images formed in the oil, a single-eyed beast ravaging a primordial world. The sage of the 6 paths, father of ninjutsu, defeated it but couldn't destroy it. He split its chakra into 9 entities, each with unique personality and powers, the tailed beasts. Like the fox inside me, Naruto murmured, hand on his seal. Kurama, the sage nodded. The 9 tails' true name, forgotten by most. Each Biju has a name, identity, consciousness, not mere chakra or disasters, as humans believe. This appended Naruto's academy lessons, which painted Biju as mindless forces to be contained by Jinchuriki, not beings with thoughts. When my father split the fox Kurama, Naruto said, frowning, he divided not just chakra but consciousness. The sage confirmed. The yin half holds Kurama's wisdom, memory, reasoning. The yang half in you carries his power, instinct, emotion. Reuniting them would make Kurama whole, Naruto concluded, realization dawning. But why's that dangerous? Why'd the council panic? Jiraiya and the sage exchanged glances. There's a group, Jiraiya said cautiously, the Akatsuki S-rank missing nin from various villages, working toward an unknown goal. My spies confirm they're hunting Jinchuriki, targeting the tailed beasts. I slid down Naruto's spine. Why? We believe, the sage's voice dropped to a deep rumble, they seek to reunite all 9 Biju to recreate the 10 tails. That would, Naruto's mind raced, potentially end the world as we know it. Jiraiya nodded grimly. Exactly. Finished grimly. Which is why your discovery of the fox's split is so significant. If the Akatsuki captured you, they'd get only half of what they need. The other half is locked in a dimensional pocket only you can access. Naruto completed the thought. So, I'm both the threat and the solution. Precisely, the great toad sage said, his massive head inclining. The child of prophecy, sharp as a kunao. Pride warmed Naruto briefly before reality returned. But if reuniting the halves is so dangerous, why did my parents preserve the possibility? Why create the ritual? Jiraiya's expression softened. They believed in you, in your ability to choose rightly when the time came. As I do. The simple confidence struck Naruto like a blow. All his life, he'd been the dead last, the demon brat. Hearing faith from someone who knew his parents was overwhelming. The ritual itself, the sage continued, is neither good nor evil a tool, like any jutsu. Its outcome depends on the performer's heart. And my parents? Naruto asked, the question burning for days. If I perform it, will they come back? What will they be? The sage's eyes grew distant, peering across dimensions. Echoes more than memories, less than flesh. Chakra constructs with Minato and Kushina's consciousness, knowledge, personalities, but bound by the ritual's limits. Can they touch things? Train me? Know me? The last question emerged vulnerable. Yes to all, the sage confirmed. But they'd need your chakra to manifest initially and be tied to this plane through you. If you fell, they'd vanish. Naruto's throat tightened. Silence settled over the oil pool, broken by dripping stalactites. It's a lot to process, Jiraiya said gently, and not a decision for today. Soon, Naruto said, surprising himself with certainty. The Chunin exams start in less than a month. I need to be ready for whatever's coming. Whatever's coming. The phrase hung heavy with foreboding. The sage's prophecy a student of Jiraiya would save or destroy the world remained vague, lacking details of how or when. Then we'd better train, Jiraiya said briskly, breaking the mood. You've got your father's flying thunder god to crack, plus your mother's chakra chains. Naruto brightened. He'd studied both techniques theory, but application eluded him. The Flying Thunder God demanded space-time intuition he hadn't developed, while the adamantine sealing chains required flawless chakra control. "I'm close with the chains," he admitted as they bowed to the sage and left the pool. "I feel them when I meditate, like they're waiting under my skin." "Your mother was 12 when she first manifested them," Jiraiya recalled, nostalgia softening his features. "Nearly skewered your father in training. He never let her forget it, even after they married." These anecdotes were treasures, glimpses of his parents as people, not legends. Over their week on Mount Myaboku, Jiraiya's stories painted Minato's quiet resolve and Kushina's fiery spirit, helping Naruto know those who gave him life, complicating his ritual decision. "Let's focus on the chains today," Naruto decided at the training plateau. "They'll be useful in the exams." "Good call." Jiraiya cleared space, then tossed something glinting. Naruto caught a three-pronged kunai, heavier than standard, with seals around its handle. "Your father's signature weapon," Jiraiya said. "I've saved it for when you were ready. Even without the Flying Thunder God, it connects you to him, to your heritage." Naruto's fingers closed around the kunai, emotion tightening his throat. "Thank you." "Don't thank me yet," Jiraiya grinned lecherously. "Chakra chains training is brutal. I learned from the best. Your mother made me cry." True to his word, the next 4 hours pushed Naruto to chakra exhaustion, Jiraiya forcing him to find untapped reserves and visualize chains with painful clarity. Just as collapse loomed, something unlocked inside him. Golden light erupted from his back, forming spectral chains that whipped through the air with lethal intent. "Yes!" Jiraiya bellowed, dodging as a chain embedded in stone. "That's it? Control them. They respond to intent, not just chakra?" Naruto stood transfixed, feeling the chains as extensions of himself, powerful, versatile, alive. With a thought, he shaped them into a protective dome, then lashed at targets, then crushed a boulder to dust. "Incredible," he breathed, watching golden fragments fade. "They're stronger than the scrolls described." "You've got both bloodlines," Jiraiya said, inspecting stone gouges. "Uzumaki vitality, Namikaze precision, plus the Fox's chakra boosting everything." Naruto smiled, exhausted but exhilarated, another piece of his heritage reclaimed, another tie to his mother forged. With each technique, he shed the village pariah and grew into the son of legends, capable of fulfilling the sage's prophecy. "I'm ready to return to Konoha," he said, decision firm. "To show the world who Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze is." Jiraiya studied him, then nodded. "One more day of training, then we go. The Chunin exams start in 3 weeks' time to reintegrate with your team and prepare them for what's coming." "What is coming?" Naruto asked, the unspoken question lingering. Jiraiya's face darkened. "I don't know exactly. My sources report Akatsuki movement, Orochimaru's schemes, tensions among the 5 nations. The Chunin exams are always a political powder keg, but this year feels dangerous." "Then I'd better be ready," Naruto said, fingering the kunai, resolve hardening. "We all had better." As Myaboku's amber light deepened, Naruto returned to his meditation spot overlooking the Toad City. In 7 days, 3 in the outside world, he'd transformed from an ignorant genin into something more, not a master, but someone with purpose, knowledge, and growing power. Soon, he'd return to Konoha, to his team, friends, rivals, and a village that had lied to him. Vengeance wasn't his aim. He understood why secrets were kept, even if he disagreed, but recognition, acknowledgement, and claiming his birthright openly were. The Chunin exams would mark the emergence of Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, son of the 4th Hokage and the red-hot habanero, Jinchuriki of the 9 Tails, heir to Ozashio's legacy. The world wouldn't know what hit it. Konoha's eastern gate seemed small as Naruto approached, Jiraiya's massive form casting long shadows in the setting sun. 3 days away had shifted his perspective. Miyaboku's grandeur made his village feel quaint. But Naruto himself had changed most. Knowledge transformed him, power reshaped him, truth redefined him. He moved differently, balanced on his toes like a toad sage, hands loose, not tucked behind his head. The gate guards straightened, recognizing Jiraiya, surprise and respect flashing. "Lord Jiraiya, we weren't informed you'd return," one stammered, preparing paperwork. "Official business," Jiraiya said, hand on Naruto's shoulder. "This one wandered into my research area. Thought I'd return him personally." The guards barely glanced at Naruto, dismissing him beside the legendary ninja. Typical, he thought, unperturbed. That would change soon. "The Hokage will want to see you immediately," the senior guard said, returning Jiraiya's credentials. "Tomorrow," Jiraiya yawned theatrically. "Tonight, I need sake and companionship." He wiggled his eyebrows. Naruto resisted an eye roll. Some things about his godfather never changed, nor should they, perhaps, masking his spymaster role. They entered the village, crowds parting before Jiraiya. Naruto caught whispers. Jiraiya of the Sunin, wise he with the demon brat, because of the exams. But they didn't sting as before. "Your apartment or the compound?" Jiraiya murmured at a fork. Naruto considered. His team believed he'd been on a training assignment, per Jiraiya's cover story. The apartment maintained that fiction. The Namikaze compound meant embracing his heritage openly. "Apartment for now," he decided. "I'll move to the compound before the exams. It's time to stop hiding." Jiraiya nodded approval. "Smart. Ease the village into it. Your return's already stirring rumors, no need to drop everything at once." They parted, Jiraiya heading to the hot springs with a wink, Naruto toward his shabby apartment. But he veered to Training Ground 3, where Team 7 began with the bell test, forging fragile bonds. The training posts stood silhouetted against twilight, silent witnesses to shinobi growth. Naruto touched the center post, where he'd been tied after failing. "I'm back," he whispered, unsure if he addressed his old self, the village, or past trainees' ghosts. "So I see," Kakashi drawled from behind. 3 days of special training, and no hello for your sensei." Naruto turned, unsurprised, having sensed Kakashi's lightning affinity chakra. "Hello, sensei." He smiled faintly. "Miss me?" "It was quieter without you," Kakashi said, eye curving, though tension lined his posture, orange book absent. "Learn anything interesting?" The loaded question lingered. How much did Kakashi know about Jiraiya's involvement? "A few things," Naruto said carefully. "Water techniques, some sealing theory." "From Jiraiya," Kakashi stated, not asked. Naruto nodded, seeing no point in denial. "Denying it?" "He found me after I discovered the storage unit. Said he could teach me things about my heritage no one else could." "And did he?" Kakashi's tone stayed casual, but his single eye assessed Naruto sharply. In answer, Naruto held out his hand, palm up. Chakra swirled, condensing into a perfect, spinning sphere of flawless rays non, maintained effortlessly. Kakashi's eye widened slightly. "Your father's technique." "One of them," Naruto confirmed, letting the jutsu dissipate. "I'm still working on the Flying Thunder God, but the theory's clearer now." "And your mother's abilities?" Kakashi asked softly, as if unsure he had the right. Naruto channeled chakra down his arm. Golden light shimmered under his skin, then erupted from his fingertips as a single chakra chain, coiling around a training post and tightening until the wood groaned. "Impressive," Kakashi murmured, pride in his voice. "Most impressive." The chain dissolved into golden motes. Naruto flexed his fingers, adjusting to the sensation. "I'm learning." "Slowly." "Not that slowly," Kakashi said, leaning against the post with deceptive ease. The question is, what do you plan to do with these abilities, especially in the Chunin exams? Naruto took a deep breath, organizing his thoughts. I'm going to show who I really am, not all at once. That'd be dangerous for everyone, but I won't hide my capabilities or pretend to be less than I am. And your heritage? Kakashi pressed. Your parentage. After the second exam, Naruto decided, plan solidifying. During the preliminary rounds, when foreign teams are still here but the field's narrower, that's when I'll claim my name, all of it. Kakashi studied him, weighing implications. This will cause complications politically, diplomatically. I know, Naruto met his sensei's gaze steadily, but I've lived a life for 13 years. I won't anymore, not when the truth strengthens me, helps me protect those I care about, people like Sasuke and Sakura. Kakashi's voice sharpened. Your teammates, who have no idea what's coming. Guilt twisted Naruto's chest. Immersed in his heritage, he'd barely considered his teammates. They deserve to know, he admitted, at least some of it, before the exams. I agree. Kakashi straightened, decision made. Team meeting, tomorrow, 7 a.m., training ground 7. He paused. I'll be on time. The promise's weight wasn't lost on Naruto. He nodded, grateful for Kakashi's support, however cautious. One more thing, Kakashi added, turning to leave. Whatever Jiraiya taught you, whatever power your heritage unlocked, true strength lies in protecting others, not techniques or bloodlines. That's what your parents believed, the legacy they'd want you to carry. The words hit home, a reminder that beyond jutsu and seals, his parents' greatest inheritance was their will to protect what they loved, even at ultimate cost. I know, Naruto said softly. That's why I'm doing this, not for power or recognition, but to be strong enough to protect everyone, the village, my friends, the future. Kakashi's eye curved genuinely. Then you'll be fine. He raised 2 fingers in a salute. See you tomorrow, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. The use of his full name, spoken with quiet acknowledgement, warmed Naruto deeply. As Kakashi vanished in a swirl of leaves, Naruto lingered, watching stars emerge in the twilight. Tomorrow brought challenges, explaining to his teammates, navigating the village's reaction, preparing for the exams weeks away. But standing where his ninja journey began, Naruto felt at peace. The ritual to retrieve his parents and the Yin Fox could wait until after the Chunin exams. For now, he'd focus on the present, showing the world who he'd become while honoring who he was meant to be. At 7 a.m., Team 7 gathered at Training Ground 7. Sasuke leaned against a tree, exuding indifference. Sakura fussed with her hair nearby, and, shockingly, Kakashi stood present, serious, without his orange book. Naruto arrived last, timing his entrance for impact. He ditched his orange jumpsuit for clothes reflecting his dual heritage, black pants, a deep blue shirt with the Uzumaki spiral, and a short-sleeved white haori reminiscent of his father's, minus the Hokage flames. His hitayate secured a longer cloth, falling past his shoulders like Jiraiya's. Sakura's jaw dropped. Sasuke's eyes narrowed. Naruto, Sakura managed. What happened to you? Before he could answer, Sasuke stepped forward, scanning him. You've changed. Not just the clothes, your chakra feels different. Trust the Uchiha to notice. Naruto met his rival's gaze evenly. A lot's happened in 3 days. That's why we're here. Kakashi interjected, gesturing them to gather. Naruto has something to share that will affect our team dynamics and our approach to the Chunin exams. Sasuke shifted into battle readiness. Are you dropping out? The opposite, Naruto smiled slightly. I'm finally stepping up. Over the next hour, he explained, not everything, but